Yeah, yeah. We gonna do it like this. Ride with me. Yeah. Ride with me. I'm feeling good today, I'm good today. So turn it up and let the music play. Sun's out, not a single rain cloud in the sky. And Mrs. Green got a smile on her face. Okay, check. I'm feeling blessed, I'm feeling blessed. I got some bills, but got no stress. I ain't gon' stress, The cards was dealt, he holds the deck. Knowing that, tell me why I'm gon' fret. Switch it up, yo, como estas, muchacho, vámonos. Like the grill, everybody down for dominoes. Ha. Yeah, we having a good time. Everybody in the hood and it's good vibes. Good vibes every time we meet up. No one beefing, so we throw the piece up. Throw your piece up, celebrate your seed into the kingdom of heaven, cause we gon' dance the streets. Come on,
woke up this morning and I think I'm gonna change the world. I'm looking back on how I thought things would stay the same. I know it's gonna be, yes I know.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are doing well. It is 20 minutes to 6. That is correct. It's 20 minutes to 6 on this, the 24th day of March, year of our Lord, 2026. What? 20 minutes to 6, it's 2026. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is still Christian radio. Don't do it. Don't do it. But if you do it, give us a shout afterwards. Let us know how it go.
Yeah. we don't even want 10%.
No. Lord Jesus. But man, we're so glad to have you locked in with us. We have this Denczil, there's Tito over here, and that's Kenyatta. We are short of one of the Barbershop crew. However, he intends to call in. He is consumed with an event for his daughter. And we are family men here in the barbershop, and so that is the automatic excuse. If there's a family affair, you have to take care of that. That's first and priority. And so we wish baby girl all the best. Yeah, she's competing today. I don't want to say all the details. I can let him say the details when he comes back.
And I wouldn't ask him if he's serious about this talk show.
No, that is totally unnecessary. Before we get started and anything else, I want to just celebrate. I did not realize this young man attends my church. He's my barber. He's my personal friend. Best man at my wedding. And I had no clue that he won an Elevation Award. Nobody told me nothing. I didn't know that. I figured that would have been important to him that he would let me know that he was nominated for and won an Elevation Award. I don't know what he won it for. I guess they had an award for geriatrics. Because this dude old. I don't know what he did with an award. I hope it was no Best New Artist because he been 30-something years. But what award you win, Kenyatta Taylor?
Boy. Apparently, Gospel Artist of the Year.
Foolishness.
You serious?
Yeah, Gospel Artist
You
of the
win
Year.
Gospel Artist of the Year?
Yeah.
Who charged the Elevation Award?
You know exactly who judge.
Like they call
The VMAC and the
VMAC.
and
What
the
are
crew.
y'all doing?
The 51-year-old man.
51. You win Gospel Artist of the Year?
Gospel Artist of the Year, so.
Is
I
it
was
for
nominated in 3 categories.
You win on 3 of them?
No.
You just win the biggest one. Who you was up against? Let me hear you all you beat.
Yeah, let's hear all you beat.
To me, it's never a competition.
You beat
To me,
Iman?
it was never a competition.
Iman should have won that, man.
Iman, if you listen, they can't believe you like he had to beat you. But the blues, you let this old man
You was a
beat you.
young boy, you let this old fella
Crying,
just
shame,
grow
but this
here.
But these my friends, Mr. Monroe. These my friends, you know. These
Oh
my
boy,
friends.
there's something different.
Your friends could put it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Now, listen, let me do something. We didn't do this, and since I was traumatized the last time we had a member of a candidate here for Freetown, and so I have to set the rules early in this show. Last time we had a candidate for Freetown,
They was really free.
they got too free. Didn't realize they forgot this. They calling me pastor, calling me bishop, calling me rev, and forget it was Christian radio. Now this I've seen this particular candidate. I've seen him serve the altar. I've seen him in his surplice. I've seen him in his cassock, and so I feel a little more at home, but I can't take no more chances. I got traumatized the last time we had a Freetown candidate inside here.
Didn't take the pressure.
But I think it was the devil who used a Freetownian that caused that Freetown.
Well, I about to put the same pressure on my good friend across the table.
Caused that Freetown man lose his good religion on national radio.
On national Christian radio. That man cussed on my radio station.
He cussed me.
But the honorable gentleman say, always assume somebody's recording.
But
I know he knows that plenty people is listening.
Somehow that gentleman forgot he was recording in a radio station. Yeah, that's anyway, I call no name. But this is the only consistency that we've had 3 candidates.
Just that everything is
Three.
blue.
We've had 3 candidates.
You don't got to call the name. Just that everything blue.
No, ain't no blue than that's MBLN.
I told me to cover in the ball.
Okay, that's really good. All right, so this is Barbershop Talk. Now, we've been getting some comments. People have been loving the show. I have been hearing from some politicians that they are afraid of Barbershop Talk. I don't know what's going on. They saying they ain't coming because they didn't see what happened to Pintad. They didn't see what happened to Blue. They didn't see and I don't know what we do. I don't know what it is that we've been doing, but we
were just asking questions, the questions the general public wants answers to.
Now,
And I think besides one show, we was
Yeah, because Lincoln
we was
didn't
basically
do a
in
bad
order.
job, and Keno Wong didn't do a bad job. They were saying, I
Keno-
think Barbershop
Keno-
want the real. What we?
Keno is
Let me.
good.
I just
Keno-
want to
Keno-
prep Wayne a little bit.
I
I want the real Wayne. I don't want Mr. Monroe who want Zed Nest all get up. I want the guy who will be through the corner of me sitting on the wall.
This saying what the show name with the honorable bless his soul Rodney Monka. What the name of that show?
Freedom
was?
March,
Freedom March. This is Freedom Talk.
I guess that's why Blue is free to talk.
Yeah, but
This
that's how
is Freedom Talk.
That's how we
and-
get in trouble last time with Blue. But this is candid conversation. People been saying, okay, y'all is be talking over one another. Y'all is don't finish the question. This is Barbershop Talk. That's what this is.
It reflects the barbershop.
Don't try to fix this show. Don't try to adjust this show. It will be Barbershop. And we will cut off our guests while they're answering and ask another question. Because we rude, because the Barbershop is rude. That's what happens in here. So we rude, and we make no apologies for it. And if our guests decide not to be rude, so be it. We can be rude.
That's unless you have an exclusive barbershop like some people where you get appointment.
By grab.
And so you don't wait.
By grab. Now, that's another thing. That's another thing. When you go
Well,
right
but Mr. Monroe, you had an appointment today. You weren't, and you wasn't late. You was on time for your appointment.
Now, when you have exclusive barbershop, you ever was at the shop and they was together?
No.
It was a painful breakup, man. I talked to you about it later. We almost needed to call you as a lawyer. It was rough. Yeah,
I'm
no.
not in practice right
Yeah,
now,
I understand that.
and I don't intend to be in practice for the next 5 years.
Well, let's get it started.
Let's see what you can do for Bell today. Let's see what you can do for Bell today.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't figured out yet, we have with us the Minister of National Security and also the Member of Parliament for the Freetown constituency. I can jump into the boat and say this. I don't understand why we have. I never understood the fit. When I heard they announced Wayne Monroe for Freetown, I said, "Your best playing." Wayne Monroe. If I hear Kalani, okay, cool. Wayne Monroe.
Well, let me tell you something.
Cool.
I think it's the perfect fit.
I didn't think so when I heard that. I said how
you are getting some?
are you getting Freetown? How are you? Because
Archbishop Gomez sent me to Freetown.
Really?
The story is this. Now, at one point, I lived on Arwak Avenue for a period, right? A short period. But when I was baptized at the Church of the Holy Innocents, Ragged Island, proud to be from Ragged Island, born there, lived the first 4 years there.
Right.
When we came to Nassau, my mother couldn't take incense, so we went to Calvary Bible Church. And you had the...
You ain't nothing about you say Calvary Bible, Mr.
Yeah,
Monroe.
man. Yeah, man.
Ain't nothing
When I
about you say
growing up,
Calvary Bible.
Went to church Monday, Tuesday for Awana, Wednesday for midweek
Really?
church. Sometimes they did stuff Friday and Saturday, and then went to church 3 times on Sunday. To live in the woman house, those were a requirement.
So you caught Adam. You caught Pastor Lee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was there growing up fine. Because she couldn't take incense. My aunt would go to St. Barnabas. I would go there. When I came back to the Anglican Church to be confirmed, it was Diocese 2000 and beyond, and Archbishop Gomez. I was living in St. Anne's Parish, Johnson Road.
Okay.
Archbishop Gomez said, enough rich people go into St. Anne's Church, you ought to go to St. Margaret's. And I went to St. Margaret's, and I've been there from then about over a quarter of a century. And I took to working with the young children on the altar. That's what Santosh Marie, who was then director, put me to do. I enjoyed it. I stayed.
So hold on. You attend St. Margaret's?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought you said like this.
No. I'm not high church.
He's keeping it low church. Low church.
All right. Okay.
So that's why I'm in Freetown. That's in Margaret. So Freetown is the parish in which I I exercise my ministry.
I got you. Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense.
And ministry in the sense of not government ministry, but Christian ministry.
They kind of coincide a little bit. But all right. Hey, good. I'm online. Glad to see you. Julianne, good to see you.
So are you a believer?
Let me
Mr. Monroe?
get my people online.
Sorry.
Oh, Jesus, man.
You know how this thing go? It's no order.
I just want to tell people hello. Hey, Jody. Tito looks like he
Mr.
is.
Monroe, I sent you the link for you to share too. Share the link.
Jody, I said Tito looks like he plotting.
Yeah, he plotting.
The show that started. Stephanie says, "Let's go. Love this for Tito." Carlo, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I think Delton got a line up for you. They gotta let me know when you call in. We'll get you on there. Peggy, where are you, Peggy? Sorry.
Yeah, where Peggy at?
Nayoshi, you promised us Wayne Monroe from 3 months ago. Truth be told, Minister Monroe, we called you a re-nigger. That's what we had you listed as, a re-nigger, because we got confirmation you was coming a long time. And they said you was coming, and so we put you in the re-nigger box, but we're putting you in the box slowly. We'll see how the show ends today. All right, what you asking?
Yeah, no, I asked him. He said that that's where he performs his ministry, Christian ministry. So I didn't know that. I'm asking, are you a believer?
Yes.
I didn't know that. So
You know,
He didn't show forth the size of a believer.
No, but you know the thing that amazed me, right? When people see me in my
capacity is
Yeah.
And if I'm in an Anglican church, I will only sit on the altar.
Right.
Even as Minister of National Security, right?
Sure.
So not many people come to me, oh boy, I almost die in this church. I see you walk past me. and it caused you to ask them, you know, what about it caused you to think that I was the devil?
Why everybody shocking?
You would be saying that. You know, but
so where you be that we don't know about? The Bali used to be somewhere where they record you. Why they shock while you in church?
What happens, I think, is
I know one of them spots. I ain't got them out though.
Oh Jesus!
No, I'm an Anglican. That's a safe spot for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What they call it? Trulies? What they call it? Trulies?
Yep, and I have other spots, but what happens is people sometimes think that you can only manifest in one way.
Right.
And what I say is that that's not true, because you have any number of denominations here. And I'm not one of those who say, oh, if you're a Roman Catholic, you go into hell. If you're this, you go into hell, because I can't judge you.
Right.
Only God can judge you. But you live your life, you witness, and the one thing you can never do is if you deny and are ashamed of him, eternity is a very long time. I'll tell you this story. I went to Veronica Teresa Barrow's funeral at St. Cecilia Catholic Church. They have a jumping church. They have trumpet, all kind of things.
Right.
You think you're in the jumper church, the
Right.
Baptist church, to go there. After I came outside, Monsignor Roberts, who presided, he says, you know, he shook my hand and said, a priest from Trinidad, Catholic priest, came to Eugene Depute and say he told them, look, they invited a big-time lawyer to talk to them, me, right? So, and I came, and if you read my resume always says that I'm a lay reader, child assistant at St. Margaret's Church. And he told the priest, here it is, you pushing big to be a lawyer. And a lawyer, because I told him I'm most proud of that part of my resume, that
Sure.
I'm a lay reader, child assistant.
Yes.
Because from a little boy, what they tell you will last. Only one thing will last.
Yeah,
and
only what you do, eh?
He said, here it is, you're a priest, and you talking big but being a lawyer, and here's a lawyer.
Talking big, but serving on the altar.
Yeah.
All right. This is. Oh, they coming in. Y'all hold on. Y'all can speed us up. We can take our time. We can slow walk down this road to get where we want to go. So you kind of hit one of my first questions. You know, 'cause one of the first things was about getting an understanding of Wayne Monroe. You know, not the politician, not even the lawyer, because I think we know those things. We know the lawyer. We know the politician. And I mean, and I want to talk about the politician a little bit, because to me, you're not the typical politician. You don't give off that typical politician kind of vibe. That emotive, sensational kind of vibe that you kind of connect to politicians. We don't get that from you. You don't seem to
I'm
be
not
that.
charismatic. Yes, you said.
No, if we thought you was that, no sir, we like you. No,
I've never heard Mr. Monroe tone of voice change.
Yeah, you always see him.
It's one way all the time.
You see him somewhat dispassionate, that almost makes you appear disinterested.
I learned that from my Grammy.
Go ahead.
My Grammy tells me that people should not be able to understand your weaknesses.
Right.
And emotion and emotional responses will cause them to do that. And they should not be moved by the emotion that you speak about. If I say that the house is on fire, me saying that calmly,
It's still on fire.
yeah, or whether I shouted, cried, anything like that. At the end of the day,
But if it's my house, though, I feel like you don't care.
yeah,
If it's
but-
my house that's on fire, and you say it in such a dispassionate fashion,
You saying you have no
I feel like,
passion.
man,
You
ain't care that my
yeah.
husband. Why?
No, no,
I don't feel your heart.
Exactly, but if I jumping up and down, your house burning down, your house burning down, I ain't doing nothing about it. Your house still burning down.
But before you,
Whereas I say your house is burning down, now what we have to do is we have to ensure that we do this, which is what I do.
right,
So I'm addressing.
and you would do it exactly how you're talking right now.
And we're addressing the issue. You getting exciting and excitable actually is counterproductive in most instances, because you don't focus on analyzing what is the real problem.
But then sometimes we want to feel it out. The human side of us want to feel this word that Jesus uses. He was moved with compassion, passion with. That you're sharing my passion, and sometimes that needs to be communicated. No,
Well, of course, but my wife will tell you I cry easy, but I don't cry loud. That's the issue. So it's not that. See what I do.
I can be honest, Minister. There have been several things that have happened over the last 5 years, and I've said, man, I wish Monday would show us his heart, man. Not his work, but now sometimes they're one and the same.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are. And you're saying for you, that's where your heart is shown by what you do. You are that. So I don't know if you ever read about the 5 love languages. No. All right. They talk about these love languages. One is words of affirmation, receiving of gifts, quality time, personal touch. But this 5th one seems to be you, which is acts of service. Where that's one of your strong ways of communicating love by what you do, getting it done, as opposed to so much saying I love you. I want to show you I love you.
Well, I will tell you this.
Go for it.
And it might well be, everyone is shaped by how they grow up.
Right.
I tell people, I cannot remember my father ever telling me, I love you.
Right.
But from everything he did, I never had any doubt. And to be quite frank, I think that probably only when he was dying of cancer would I ever have expressed it to him verbally, but that was at a very long end of my brothers and I. We would accompany him when he went to MD Anderson, that sort of thing, so you get to reciprocate what you've done. I always tell people, and they say, my people tell me it'll serve me badly in politics, that you should be able to know how I feel by what I do. If I have to tell you I love you, that must be because I didn't show you that I loved you. Now, that may be a wrong calculus. That may be a completely wrong calculus. But I try to change because I don't think I know it all. So people tell me, so I try. One of my generals said, I'm kind of cool, so now you tell people you appreciate them. Showing it isn't sufficient, so now I try to do it.
You working on that?
Let me tell you something. I sit here and I read this comment, and I lost in the sauce.
We coming there, man. Hold on, man. Calm down.
I said no ring. I wait for the tag me, and I only said yeah.
But I want you got.
I ain't gonna answer that.
No. Hold on. Answer something. You got 3 boys. How often do we hear in the battle house, "I love you"?
No, you don't do that. We show love, but in a different way. We different. It's rough being in
In the
the
tail
house.
house, you got a son,
It's very frequent. I mean,
right?
Yeah, we don't.
It's spoken. It's shown. It's intentional.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. All right. I mean, my daddy wasn't.
Our household different.
My daddy.
I didn't grow up with that. Just like y'all, I didn't grow up with that.
My daddy wasn't. I love you. My daddy was. I love you.
Yeah,
like that on the move.
My daddy.
Now you know I love you.
My daddy walking on and say, when I go to work every morning and every night, and I come back and I put this thing on the table, make sure these things paid. That's how you know I love you. All them clothes you got, you eating every day.
Yeah, that's
all the sacrifices I make. You need to know I love you. And because and when you do bad and when you doing nonsense and I cutting your hip,
right?
It's because I love you.
If I stop showing up, you know I ain't love you no more.
Wow. All right.
So yeah,
but I've heard that many times about Brother Monroe that has said, man, he feel like he don't even care, man. He talk about these issues, these shootings,
just chill,
everything monotone.
Chill.
So 10 people just get shoot, and Monroe come on the thing just calm and this.
What they was call them calm and what collective?
Yeah,
cool,
I'll
calm,
never
and
forget
collective.
this statement. This Monroe came on the interview and he said, "If you don't want to be shoot at, don't shoot at the police. You think they wouldn't shoot back at you?"
Let me tell you my personal experience with Monroe. I had a situation. I don't know if he.
That's not accurate.
That was accurate. But you said so calmly. If you don't want to be shot at, you shoot at the police.
I would say this my personal experience. I don't know if Mr. Monroe remember this.
Who opened the door to all of the PLPs in Freetown? Because I mean, like all these comments here is just
I can deal with all them
they
dogs.
ready.
I only waiting.
Somebody pull the plug and say every PLP in Freetown come online about the talk. I mean, because they lighten this thing right up.
You know how that works? Because that's something you learn too.
Go ahead.
Me, I'm a person, like I told Tito when we were waiting to go on, we doing the pool in the community center. He said, boy, you better go take a picture by the pool. I say, for what? It ain't finished. Let's see, I don't see the value of
where's
that.
The pool?
It's not right to the east of Uriah McPhee, right behind the basketball court. Yeah,
in the back,
Williams
in the park.
Lane. Yeah. And the community center will be between there and the
Well, look, everybody getting pool. They want who building all these pools.
The Ministry of National Security, the ones that come with the community centers.
Y'all building that. Y'all building that.
The ones that are attached to community center, so Mount Moriah, we have the community center to be refurbished. The ones in the schools is a different program. That's pools in schools. The one in Freetown would be a part of it, and they're scheduled for Carmichael, the Bacardi Park.
Y'all getting pool there, everybody.
That's the recreational option.
I can't get one person to pool in my yard.
You can pay the contractor.
That's what. Why you fooling with politics? Wayne Monroe. What you fooling this for? Why you doing this?
And people ask me that, and I tell them I used to make a good living suing the government. A whole lot of money. Right. And I tell people a story that when you reach a certain age, my father lived to be 70.
Right.
If I live to be as old as he is, I have 12 more years on earth. If I live to be his age, that's not a very long time. Having said that, though, my children have a lot more time than me, and I have 2 grandchildren now.
Right.
And so you look about affecting change and improving your country. And for a long time, I was going to do that in the legal world, in the judicial capacity. I had my mind set on becoming a judge. I started to prepare for it, all of that. And then you started suing the government, and then you say, well, why don't they do these simple things?
Right.
And so you say, okay, you keep doing it. They're not doing these simple things. Because I could affect matters even not being a politician. Remember the referendum? Mm-hmm. Prime Minister Christie told the fellas to close. I told them not to close. They didn't close. I wasn't elected to Parliament. I wasn't a cabinet minister. And I wasn't a prime minister. So you can affect the country in many different ways.
Why you tell them not to close?
Because
we didn't like that.
Well, in a matter-of-fact way, which you probably wouldn't. They had a legitimate cause of action, that it would have been difficult to calculate what their loss would have been if they had closed. And so good judgment would say you stay open, because then if you're going to be closed because you're wrong, you're going to be closed. What's the point? But the point I was seeking to make is after doing all of this and not being able to get a change of how things work, from the outside I say, you know what, it's just as easy to go inside and deal with it. And it is almost kismet that the Prime Minister appointed me to the Ministry of National Security. A lot of people said, oh, you're going to be Attorney General. I'm kind of happy now I'm not.
Right.
And I am right where I am because you get to sort out the things and you have experience with it.
Right. Okay, so let's say you on the outside looking in when you looked at Wayne Monroe, the attorney, suing the government, doing these things, and you say, I'm going into this, and you got, let's say you had 10 things you looked at, like, man, we could fix these things, man. These are easy fixes. These things need to be corrected. Of that 10, how much you think you would have gotten, how much you think, how you feel about that 10, whatever that 10 was? 7, 6, 5, 4?
In the ministry that I'm in, I would say we have corrected 5.
Okay.
I think about 3 would be in process, and about 1 or 2 you figure you just can't do those because those are things that are based on human nature.
What about the way the country is run? Because I'm sure you were not just looking dovetail into the Ministry of National Security, just the whole country thing. Because you're a legislator for the whole country. What, from the country standpoint, national standpoint, what that list of things that you wanted to get, if we narrow down to 10, how you feel about what has happened in the last 5 years? This word progress is that we're hearing it a lot.
I was just
this progress.
But since you say that,
yeah. But let's talk about it. I mean, because from 0 to 5 is progress, but if we get into 1 million, we still ain't really going nowhere. So how do we quantify? How do we quantify and qualify this progress?
What I would say is this, and it's what I always say in that place, right? Which I never actually listened to the House of Assembly until I was in the House of Assembly. I saw no value in it. I just looked at the product that came out of the House of Assembly, which was the Acts of Parliament. And I might look at Hansard if I was trying to say what y'all said makes absolutely no sense. So let me see what y'all thought y'all was saying.
Right.
But when you look at progress, any general election, if you have 1 million miles to go and you take 1 step, you may be the best person, because in the land of the blind, a one-eyed man is king.
Yeah.
So to say we have 1 million things to do, we've only done 10, that's not sufficient progress to re-elect us on. It's to overlook the fact that you have to compare with what you have with what you would get. I think there's a song about that, eh?
Hey, look what you can get.
Yeah.
I know you I don't speak for you. But could Wayne Monroe, not PLP, not Minister of National Security, not Representative for Freetown, you're outside in the professional world right now, you're in your practice, looking at this government, would you be challenged to beat them down? Or you like, oh man, they're doing good, they look good? And that's a hard one. I mean, I don't know if you. If you were standing on the outside as Wayne Monroe, the Wayne Monroe who looked at that Hansard and said, "What the devil y'all did? What is this nonsense?"
I'll tell you the first thing is,
go for it.
I always made more money under the Free National Movement. and it's not. It's not a partisan thing to say. It's just the attitude that is adopted. So, for instance. I brought an action against the gaming board when the PLP was in power. Their lawyer got on the phone and told me, don't file 1 more document because we ain't going to pay you any more money. We're settling this. And a case that I had looked at and bargained to make $150,000 from, I made $5,000.
Got you.
There was another case, I remember the late Tennyson Wells was AG. I tell him, let's settle this, and you could settle this for $20,000. He resisted. He said no. When we went to the end of the day, ended up, I think it was $240,000. And then he said, oh, well, you were asking for $20,000. I tell him, yeah, but I was like a year and a half ago. And before y'all actually lost, because when we were settling it, y'all could have said y'all might have won. But I know y'all can't win because y'all lost.
Right.
So a lot of the approach of the Progressive Liberal Party is a lot more ordered. Even when they're wrong.
Right.
So that's the first thing. The second part of it is, I think you have to look, anytime I look at something, I look at something critically. When I advise a client in a business matter, right, I tell them, let's look at what the upsides are, what the downsides are. So, for instance, I tell my friends who think they're smart about Christianity, right, I say, let me tell you why I'm smarter than you. Let's assume I am wrong in believing in God. What's the downside for me? Nothing.
Yep.
Because if you're right, there's nothing after death.
Absolutely.
So I stand to lose nothing. And guess what? I stand to gain nothing either.
Right.
But if you're wrong and I'm right, it's plenty downside for you, right?
You can be real hot.
So at anything that you do, you will analyze it in that prism. If you want to make a decision, you would say, what do I benefit by doing this? What are the risks of doing this? And that's how you balance it out. And so with governments, it's the exact same thing. And that's why our slogan of choose progress is important, because we say, okay, I don't think anyone would say we're going in the wrong direction. You might say we're going too slow. But, that's comparing all we have to fix. But if your choice is some person who went nowhere, then why would you want to not continue to go forward?
Mr. Monroe, if you have the greatest government, what grade would you give this government for the last 4 years?
I would give it a grade better than the Free National Movement.
No, 1 to 10.
Grading is relative.
Relative to you.
No. What happens is this. But I am actually in education, legal education. What you find is you grade on a curve.
Okay, so
right.
I give the F&M last term 5.
Get him 5? You lie. You didn't give him 5.
No, I trying to feed him down one road.
All right, go ahead.
No.
I get him 5.
If their performance over their last term was 5, then I'd have to give the PLP a +5 over 10.
What? Let me tell you something. That's absolute nonsense. No, sir. Because I feel like, listen, I sit here, right?
Point to the 5 things that you gave him a point for.
Listen to me. I didn't even get to beat you up on Freetown yet, because we ain't get there yet. I patiently being beaten for parts to tag me in. But honestly,
this is a barbershop. We don't tag, right? We don't tag it.
Because when I started, this little list we got going on, yeah?
Go ahead.
Personally, I'll say this. You were a minister of national security, and I felt as if every week we saw you on the news when it came to some type of murder, someone being shot. And it's almost felt as if you always getting a handle on it, right? You think you already got a handle on that situation, that part of crime? Like every week there's someone being shot at, headshot, some gruesome type murder.
Well, let me ask you this.
And the whole,
you want to start?
But let me ask you this.
Because I honestly believe,
we're in the barbershop, so let me ask you this. How old were those murderers?
They was different ages. A lot of them was young, but...
No, but none of them was 1 year old, right?
No.
So none of them was born when the PLP was elected. Most of them we found when we look at it. There's a period of time over which, I used to say this, everyone say, my good child. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct when the child is born.
Right.
Somewhere between that and 15 and 16, something happens. And it doesn't happen when the government changes. And what we say and how we think we have put it on the right track is you have to pay attention to young men. Fortunately, not young, not so firmly young women, but you have to pay attention to them as well because they have an impact. But if you want to affect the people who are doing the shooting, it's the young men, and you have to check them usually between the ages of 8 and 14 because we had 15, 16-year-old murderers. And so when you come to grips with it, over my experience, when I represent people, you talk to them, you ask them, why are you doing this? And they will give you reasons. And a lot of the reasons have to do with acceptance. Some of the reasons have to do with lost opportunities. One of the biggest gang leaders we have here in this country, by all accounts, got on that road because his girlfriend was pregnant. He applied for a job at the hotel, and they turned him down because of the neighborhood he came from. And so in order to support the girlfriend and the baby, this is what he did. And so when you know all of these causes, you can move about correcting the situation. Now, we put in place the prevention, the policing, all of that. But while you move aggressively to recruit policemen, because the other folks weren't, getting police vehicles, because we had to get 100 patrol cars right out the gate because you didn't have vehicles. In some areas, we still don't have vehicles. That's how bad the thing is. Same thing for the defense force, same thing for corrections. So while you work to right the ship, you still have to do the work of saying, it's like a fire. let's say, and I used to say, let's say we had 200 shooters, committed shooters. They will be killing up one another, going to prison. And if you wanted to affect the problem, you have to stop new recruits. And that is where we put a lot of effort in, stopping the new recruits. And that is where you will get a handle on crime.
Where's
So
the
y'all-
effort? Talk about the effort. I got you off.
Because I want
these efforts. What are these efforts?
That's the same thing again. Ask them. What are the efforts that y'all put in place to stop them new recruits in that age bracket? Like, what are some of the programs that y'all put in effect?
You want to add the most important thing we did think I think we did.
Why listening?
Is we said it's an all of government, all of society effort. So we said to civil society, to the churches, the things that you do are important in shaping these young people. So for instance, in my constituency, I supported personally a dance ministry, a Church of God of Prophecy on Shirley Street. And I see little boys doing liturgical dancing. And I say to myself, they could have been somewhere else doing something else. And so people think it's a big issue. These young people, when they talk about acceptance, they will be a part of a good gang or they will be a part of a gang. And so that is the first substantial thing we said. This is all of government, and that's the part we do, and all of society effort.
You said Wayne Manuel, the person did it. The personal that was personal.
That was out of my constituency allowance. I do stuff there.
All right, okay, got you.
So everyone can do something. Wayne Monroe, when he was advisor to the altar service at St. Margaret's, the Guild of St. Ambrose at St. Margaret's,
right.
I interface with young people. Some of them in the beginning come with these funny haircuts. I tell them they can't come on my altar with that, and they get it out of their system.
Right.
So everyone in whatever area that you interface with young people, you are part of the solution or you are part of the problem. So that's the first concept. The government doesn't do everything. The second concept was in terms of what the government will do. We introduced a intervention program in the primary school called HYPE, Helping Young People Excel. Because it's kind of late to intervene in the junior high school if fellas killing by 14, 15, eh?
Right.
So HYPE involves a discipline component delivered by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Defense Force, Corrections. It involves literacy and numeracy assistance.
Boy, I never ever hype in my life.
No.
I've never been hype.
Yeah.
We're in schools, and I haven't heard about hype. What how does hype works in the school itself, or is it in the community?
Some of it is done in the school. So you have literacy, numeracy. You have the Aspire curriculum delivered by Dr. Carter Lucky. And then they have a discipline component where they meet at, I think it's Essie McPherson, and they're bused there, and they're done there that day. It's in, I want to say 6 schools in it's either 4 schools in New Providence and 2 in Grand Bahama.
Really?
Yeah, or 6 and 2.
I ain't never done it at all.
But the children who are caught in it does. And then you have, for the upper level, we had them reinvigorate the Rangers program. You introduced the National Youth Guard. You will have...
And that's in junior school?
No, National Youth Guard is actually after school.
Now you're saying that's a junior school program?
The Rangers.
Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would neglect I know you said the junior schools might seems a bit too late, but from my experience, I don't think so. I think you still can catch some of them, because even with my program, I didn't expect that. Like this season, I had almost 18 girls. This is one of my biggest response with the girls. I started with maybe 2 or 3, but this season I have like 18, and all interested in playing flag football.
There you go.
And I'm somewhere around about 40 kids. Yeah. So I wouldn't say it all lost for them. I think you still can grab them at that age before they really get to the high school level.
Are you getting funding?
No, zero funding.
Have you asked for funding?
I need all kind of help.
Have you asked for funding?
From different local business, but not from the government.
The way you guessing, you were asking for funding?
No, I actually did. I lied.
Okay.
I went to the director of sports, and I asked for funding, and I got no funding. But I know after the show I will get funding.
When you mentioned your number one about about these church programs, whatever the case is, how does that really look though? You talked about what you did in Freetown. Is that an intentional act? Is that something that Wayne Monroe saw and said, let me do this, or is this something that's intentionally happening? Because I know of a lot of churches with a lot of programs that aren't getting any funding, any assistance, and the church is not going to go there begging for assistance.
Yeah,
but
why do you say that? Why do you have not?
Well,
Because you ask not?
Well, it depends on who you're asking. I think some churches are careful not to be seen as
Beggars?
as being beholden to any political organization. I think a lot of people see it that way.
But how does that make you beholden? You know, when I told them, the purported there's no quid pro quo in my ministry with the Chinese, I'm not saying that they don't offer me something expecting something, you know. But I'm a ragged island man. Unless we strike a deal, after I consume your thing and you come and tell me what it costs, I tell you, Chief, you should tell me that before I consumed it.
So
what happened? What happened?
So there is no quid pro with the Chinese?
No. And with Pastor Dale came to me. He asked for assistance. There's no quid pro quo. None whatsoever.
Gotcha.
And I said it today. We did something at C.I. Gibson I donated the computers for that geography.
I wish everybody was as idealistic as you are. Because that may be how Wayne Monroe functions. But boy, listen to me. I have known of persons who have gotten from this government so the next government don't touch them. They got a partnership here, or they got some sort of a grant here. So when this government changed, they get branded. They PLP. I told a story preaching. I ain't scared to say it. When I prayed at an F&M prayer breakfast. No, I preached F&M prayer breakfast. And then something was happening for the PLP, and someone called my name. They say, not Roll. No, boy, can't get him. Y'all know he preached for the F&M. He's an F&M pastor. I said, well, by grab.
You preach on the F&M's going to F&M. Now, if you preach that, then no, you can't preach.
I said, how is it that if I go preach to a prayer breakfast over here, I brand over here, and then we sing to the PLP convention or something that we did, and I did something. Then I heard the F&M say, well, no, don't fool Roll now. Roll change now. He hit the F&M he PLP. But that polarization exists, though. That's a reality that exists in a lot of places.
The one thing I can say is I'm very happy that does not exist with Philip Edward Brave Davis.
Definitely not.
Because
based on what I've seen.
Because people will come and say, oh, the Prime Minister told me to do this for these people in my constituency, and they're hardcore F&M. You don't think he know that? I tell him, yeah, you know it. He don't care.
Right.
So that's another reason I'm comfortable working with him. I've known him. I've worked with him for over 30 years. So it's a matter of how resources are allocated. It's just something that comes down to you put something forward, it's evaluated, and that. I think to Tito's point, there's some little dysfunction with how some sporting federations are funded, determined, the rest of that. And some of what I hear from the minister echoes that. So they have little weird things, like a sporting federation could have 5 or 10 people and entitled to recognition because they're the only persons who represent a sport in the Bahamas, depending on what the sport is. So there are some aspects of the system that require fixing.
Yes.
And the only issue is to identify them, and how I go about it. I tell people, you don't just change something to change it. You first find out, well, why were we doing it like that? You might find out there's a very good reason.
Right.
And if we're going to change it, what are the implications to changing it? But you don't just keep things as you've always done it that way. But you also don't change things just to change them. So, yeah, now you have persons, we have like Let's Swim Bahamas, Andy and Nancy. That seems a very simple thing, right? Mm-hmm. Teaching primary school students how to swim. Until you understand that on the bus ride to the pool, they do memory verses, that sort of thing. When they get off, if you ever see them getting off the bus, That's the most discipline I've ever seen little children.
Wow.
They get off the bus orderly. They put their stuff orderly. They get ready for the pool orderly. They get in the pool. They get out the pool orderly. And learning discipline is something that is lacking in this country. A lack of discipline causes problems.
Sure.
And anything that imposes discipline on the when the children learn how to serve on the altar, that's a discipline to get it correct. This is how you do it. No doubt when you do sport, you learn this is how you do it correctly. This is the proper way to do things.
I think Kenyatta just all in all is getting it and say, I mean, you just expose yourself whenever certain parties come inside you.
I want to say how I feel. Let me say how I see. Mr. Monroe, I want to say this. I've been watching politics. I've been watching MPs. I feel like a lot of you guys don't have the passion of the people. Let me say why I say that. There's no innovative way MPs try to really impact communities. I sick of seeing someone brag about fixing lamp poles and park backboards and cleaning the parks and renovating this, but there's no real, like, let me give you an example, like, if you're passionate about something, right, and you really want to impact an area, why we have more stuff like community going on, like you could do defense classes for ladies on the parks in different areas, where you have karate teachers come and show them how to do self-defense. Why we don't have, like, let's take the drumming school and let's crack it open and say, you know what, we can do drumming on the park, teach the kids how to beat drum, Congo drums, whatever type of drums my old man used to do. Why we don't have like different things going on in the community? It's like it all boiled in one area, but it ain't widespread, and there's so much could go on. You talked to me about doing the security thing with the cameras. The what you call it?
The door ring.
The ring doorbell.
Ring
and you wanted to put everybody on one network. What happened to that? Getting everybody on one system to kind of have like a better protection going on. Like people ain't doing stuff in the community. Like why we got all the business in one chat group that we could all like feed off of one another. Small businesses, like people ain't coming in and like saying, what can I do to impact this community? Like they ain't like, I know that y'all have your cabinet minister position, right? But it ain't like, what can I do? I saying, where's me and Monroe? You don't come to the barbershop no more. You can sit there on Saturdays and just chat with people from the different areas. Hey, what's going on? You could use my place as a headquarters. No win. We don't see him. He's not on the ground. Where's the passion? Like, what's going on? And then I see everyone in this, the progress. And all of a sudden, everybody getting busy. And but this is your job. You're supposed to be doing this. Why y'all ain't been doing this? And it's sickening because it seems like it's always, right coming to the election, the buy get burst, and then you disappear. Where's the passion for these MPs? Y'all want to represent me. We see Slick Rick come to town. Rick, you haven't been to town in thousands of years. All of a sudden you want to come here and represent us? You want to tractor trailer doing promos? We see Blue. Your house been run now for the last 10 years. All of a sudden you fix it now because you want to represent the community? We need to stop this, man. When the people can be passionate for the people.
Well, let me say this way. You've already established that I'm not an outwardly demonstrative. It's a love language thing. And so
What does say?
So that's established, right? So now what you look at is this, and this is what I say. I think you're correct, and you say people just show up. And what I tell people is when people say I'm not on the ground, I'm in my constituency at least 52 days and usually more every year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's simple, you know. And a woman...
Once a week you
when I went canvassing, you know what the woman say when I say, oh, I'm supposed to come back to you, but I got... But he say, yeah, I see that you was doing that. Because if you ever don't show up, I can come down to that church and embarrass you. And they can walk there. And Camp Road people will do it. You think you're so good. So let me show you how I see it.
Right.
When I'm elected, I have some functions.
Right.
My first function with regard to constituency, you've elected me to be a legislator. So how do I discharged that. I go to the House of Assembly, I look at legislation, I make sure that they make sense for the order, good governance of the Bahamas.
Let me pause you there. Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off, but cutting you off. So for you, the intent was always the executive, or was the intent? What was the intent? Was the intent to represent these people? Was the intent? I know they one and the same kind of sort of.
Right.
But there are some persons who come in there. I want to just change this community. I'm passionate about changing this community. Some persons have a legislative agenda. I want to get there to have a voice in the House. Some others, I want to get to executive. I have policies I want to put in place. I want, whatever the case is. Which one is Wayne Monroe?
Well, they're not exclusive. In fact, if you want to change your community, you better be trying to do it holistically. What I was doing is setting out the different jobs you come to do. So one job that your MP has to do is
for Wayne Monroe, they're not exclusive. They want
no,
to
everything is a means to an end. And that end is that you end up with a better country.
Sometimes the people feel as though they are the means to the end.
And
Sometimes the people feel like this person just wanted to get up there to get some contracts, to get the people straight, and I was the pawn to help them to get there. And that's the cry of a lot of people.
Yeah.
That these brothers come in there because they didn't see where they could benefit here. They could see where they could help their business here. So they get in there and they come in there broke and they leave there wealthy. And they use this to get there. The people.
I suppose some people it may be the highest paying job they've ever had, but for me it isn't.
Sure.
My permanent secretary makes more than I do. The permanent secretary in my ministry makes more than I do.
That's why I asked you at the beginning why you're doing this. I did ask you that. Would you do this?
That is because if I live as long as my father, I have 12 more years.
I got you.
But my
I remember. I got you.
So you're saying this Wayne Monroe sacrificed himself for the greater good of the country?
A little selfish too for my children, grandchildren. They're my blood relations.
Right.
For my family are part of the country. See, at some point you have to figure this out, right? How long are you really going to live? And what's the value of life? Right? If the value of life is you consume some things and that's it. Well, I mean, after you've done that for so long, that gets boring. If the value of your life is for when you exit this world, because at some point you're going to die, at the point of death, are you going to be able to say, and I've had these thoughts since I was a boy, right? Which is probably why I operate like on this not getting excitable level, because I thought about that from a boy, because you're always in church, right? So when you're at the point of death, you got to figure, when you look back at your life, what would you say was the purpose of it? If you didn't affect anything in a real way, if you didn't affect people in a real way. And I've always had the view that that would be a very bad death for me to sit down and say, oh yeah, I made a bunch of money. And then you say, but I ain't taking none of it with me. And I know what they can do with it when I dead. And as a lawyer, I know they can fight over it and all the rest of that. They can cause problem and confusion. So
Monroe,
personally, I don't want to be on my deathbed and be looking back and saying, boy, I ain't changed nothing in this world. I make a bunch of money. I was laying down in a big house, but I did.
And you make plenty money. You make plenty money. That's a good thing.
Not as much as people think.
And that's a good thing.
As people
but
think.
Let me ask you this question: as the Minister of National Security, I can bring him on home base. As the Minister of National Security, we know that there's been the news has been in our news, broadcasting our news about a lot of the amount of corruption that is being exposed on our armed force, on our police force, our defense force,
and politicians too.
And politicians. You being the Minister of National Security, these persons who are ones who are supposed to uphold, to enforce, to make a difference. And we've seen that a lot of these persons in their positions were more or less taking advantage or doing the exact opposite.
Some.
Yeah, some.
Where do we recruit them
from? The question is, and persons have been saying,
where do they come from?
Say it again.
Where do they come from?
Oh, the officers?
Yeah.
What do you mean, where they come from?
I'm not asking.
I
asked you the question.
Unfortunately, I don't get to recruit angels.
Right.
But even war broke out.
I want you to follow me, though. I want you to follow me. See, you think I get to ask you a particular question.
No, but look, war broke out in heaven. An angel called Lucifer and had all of that, and he failed, and he.
So you saying nobody perfect?
Gentlemen, that's a wrap. Let's go. The man said war broke out in heaven.
No, and you telling me if you could have rebellion in heaven where an angel which is above man.
What I'm asking you is, I'm not blaming the Minister of National Security.
No, I don't look at it as blaming me.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that
I'm
these are human
asking.
beings.
I'm the question I'm about to ask. Do you feel, as a country, we need stiffer penalties to especially as it relates to persons who are supposed to know better?
Let me say this to you first. What would you prefer? For people to be going before the court, being shown to be corrupt, or nobody going before the court? If nobody went before the court, and we know that these people are recruited from us, and we are human, and we're sinful, and we're likely to be up to something, if nobody went to court, you should be alarmed. I'll give you an example. Before the government changed, how many big cocaine busts did you have in 4.5 years? After the government changed,
Y'all see that?
So what you trying to?
No,
what you-
y'all see that? That do the first time. First time we do something else. Show another sign.
That's the subliminal thing, right?
I feel you.
Now, after the government change, you have a lot of bus. Do you believe that cocaine
Now, is that
wasn't
really?
moving?
Is that now? Hold on, now, brother Wayne. Are you saying that's all PLP policy?
No.
You're saying that corruption was being supported under the freedom movement?
No. I didn't say that either.
What are you insinuating
What
by what you're saying?
Do you believe that we all had an epiphany and became sinless from 2017 to 2021? The answer is no. I say that when you see the police charging prison officers, charging defense force officers,
That's a
charging
good sign.
politicians, that's a sign that you're holding people accountable.
That's a good sign.
I can be honest. I
agree with you. That's a good sign.
I've not done that analysis, right?
But
So
the question is,
I cut you off. Don't.
you've been cutting people off all evening.
Yeah, because they all wouldn't talk. But I need to find this out. So there has been this is quantifiable that there have been more persons brought before the courts, more officers brought before the courts for corruption in this administration than the previous.
And when you say corruption, you have people brought before the court for things like stealing, for things like wrongful shootings.
But you mentioned the drug bust. You know the drug bust and stuff that you mentioned earlier.
The cocaine, large cocaine shipments being busted just wasn't happening. Period. Although it was moving. Now,
We've been seeing more cocaine busts within the past recently. We have been seeing that.
Yeah.
I must say.
And you're saying that there are more police, prison officers, these law enforcement officers going before the courts now than there were previously.
So people say.
But you can't call you.
But see, I don't want.
You can call the statistics.
We need closure to these cases. I think that these cases pending, I think our system just moves a little too slow. Is it because we're trying to have a thorough investigation? Could we have a more thorough investigation but move a lot more quicker?
Now, the police close matters and send them to court. Now, the challenge is what happens when it ends up at court. I'm of the view.
System.
Now, I acted as a judge, right? I acted as a stipendary and circuit magistrate for like 2 years. I acted as a Supreme Court judge for 3 months when Allison Maynard Gibson was AG. And I'm told that in 3 months, only one judge who was then sitting with me completed more cases than me, and that was then John Isaacs, who sat for 12 months and completed more cases than me. But sitting for 3 months, I completed more cases than the other judges who sat for 12 months. Oh. It's how you approach it. So, for instance, if you have these fellas and they have a gang of matters, I could look at a case file and say to the fella, look, man, I see this, you probably can be convicted because of A, B, C, D, and the lawyer will be there. And I'm not the person who convicts, the jury does. If you cause a matter to go to a trial before a jury, the law says you have to get 30% more time than somebody who pleads guilty. Because pleading guilty is a sign of contrition. Pleading guilty saves state resources. If it's a case where the victim is alive, it saves the victim the trauma of thing. So you don't have that sort of aggression. And then you have some lawyers who just like to drag matters out.
Just pause there for a second. And that's you brought me to my next question and my next point. I understand that there is certain lawyers have a system in place where, and not only a system, but persons who would have been charged or who would have caused offense of being charged and has to go before the court will gravitate towards certain lawyers. And so certain lawyers in the country have so many cases that when they do go to court, a lot of their cases are adjourned because there's so many cases this one particular lawyer has.
Yeah, that didn't happen before me. When I sat as a judge, I told them this is the case, date for your case.
And so the strategy of persons who are being charged, they go to these particular lawyers so that they know that...
Why don't you think they're just popular because they may be good?
No. I'm sure there are a lot more good lawyers.
No, but you know what else complicates the matter? Because people take this jaded view of lawyers who do criminal defense work. Some lawyers will say they won't do the work. And so if you start to demean lawyers who do criminal defense work, you discourage them from doing it, so you have fewer people who do it.
Do you think it should be allowed or not allowed when a certain lawyer should not be allowed so many cases?
No. I don't really. When I was a judge, I didn't care how many cases you had.
Right.
I set the date for my trial. If you couldn't make it, your client know they got to find a lawyer who's gonna make it because we can start on that day.
So the lawyers need to force the hands of these.
No, the judges,
not the lawyers, the judges. Sorry, the judges.
When I sat in court, my attitude was, it's my court. I set my date. It's not the lawyer's court. They don't get to set my date. There's a case that says that you are only entitled to a lawyer of your choice who's available at the time for the trial.
Got you.
So, I mean, that was simple to me.
So the lawyers need to be more...
No, the judges.
I keep saying the lawyers, the judges.
But you know, but these are the sort of things that you can work on. I suppose if I was Attorney General, that might have been something I could address.
And I think that within itself would help fast track a lot of these cases, the backlog that we have, because if the judges are more proactive and more, I guess, stern as it relates to getting these cases out, I think that would help with some of the backlog we've been having.
But I'll tell you a fact. In no court, in no system, and Sir Burton Hall said it, a number of court chiefs have said it, no court tries 100% of its cases. In the U.S. federal court system, I think they say only like 5% of the cases go to trial.
What?
Wow.
A very small percentage. Most of them are resolved by either being withdrawn by the prosecution or plea agreements. A very small fraction of the cases are actually tried.
So let me ask you, Mr. Monroe, I know you said you hope to be in for another 5 years. This question, do you think that Freetown wants Mr. Monroe representation for another 5 years? And if you feel so, why? What gives you that confidence?
Do you feel threatened by everything blue?
The original PLP color is blue. Why would I feel threatened by blue?
That's what...
See, this is why I talk with this dispassionate voice. Because the same way he said this now is the same way you respond to Brian.
Yeah. And he said with so much confidence.
But hold on, that's the same tone of voice we can hear for that. Why they shoot the dog on Soldier Road? Okay, someone asked somebody to shoot the dog on Soldier Road.
Yeah, why they shoot the dog on Soldier Road?
I don't come back to that. I would know why.
Let's talk about Freetown before we talk about Freetown. Soldier Road. But you know what I say is this, and my folks say I now have to show it more. I believe, I tell people, here's what I do. I have priorities. My priorities are children and education particularly, and then seniors. And then everyone else, you just give them opportunities and they should go for
I can
themselves.
hold you to that.
Now, the children, a lot of people did not know that the school breakfast program started at Uriah McPhee. They had the worst attendance. Principal Amelie came to me. First, she wanted me to do 100 breakfasts once a week. I asked how many children in the school. It's 500 children. So you can't do 100 breakfasts, because then I know our little children go, oh, you getting free breakfast, you poor, all the rest of that.
Right.
I was young once. We used to make fun of children. You used to see children being made fun of, and sometimes I was the child made fun of. So I told her, no, it'd have to be for everyone, so that was 500. And then I asked her, well, which day you can choose that's so important for them to eat?
Right.
So then it became 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I saw something there that was very heartwarming. You had children, a young girl, she would come there and ask you for a second breakfast. And she was a slim girl, so I asked her where she'd put this food.
But
No, say she'd take it outside to her daddy who walk her to school.
Wow.
That same girl now, what they do now, the government took it over this last school term. Her position is if a parent can't get it, she give what she has to a parent. And what I saw when I saw that is you have some people who that was the only meal they were going to have for that day. And then from that, I said to the persons who were working with me, you look at some of these little children, school and start, they don't have proper shoes, this, that, the next. So we had something, we would pull them out. She would take them to Shoe Village, buy them clocks, because they got to last a little while, and buy them proper uniform. And parents who that was done for know that we did it for them. I didn't take any picture with the parents. I didn't take any picture with the children.
Right.
But they know that it was done.
No, but I see.
Was that consistency resources, or was that Wayne Monroe's resources?
No, that's contingency
We
capital.
need to know that. We need to know that. Let me
but
tell
that's
you
what they tell us, so now we will
gotta
tell
know that,
this
because
story.
I can beat you up. I beating you up because I
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
This is some new news to me.
Yeah.
You know, people, we need to know that, because I need to know you down there working, putting in that work. Because as far as I'm concerned, the last time I see you is the last time I see you.
See,
But people need to know that.
You talked about the F&M's, their legal support system, their structure. You say the PLP is better, but I think the PLP's PR marketing is horrendous.
Yes, they got to get better.
I think I've said it to the Prime Minister. I've said it to some other person. I think it is horrendous. The programs that are working. One of the persons asked on the show, I mean, we have so much comments, we can't get to them. There's tons of comments here. I mean, probably hundreds. Asked, what has been the success of hype, and what's been the success of the other stuff? Someone asked on there, you all doing them, but what do they get? What are they achieving? The truth of the matter,
we track them, and you track their literacy and numeracy, and it goes up. And then you check their behavioral history, and their behavioral history.
see, I even more upset ahead of now that you're all tracking it, and you're all telling us. If you're all tracking this and you're all seeing this, the results of this, my church might say, boy, we want to partner with this, or you know, but we don't even know.
We don't know.
We don't know what's happening. So I mean, the head that I was hoping you say that we can get the information. You saying that you'll actually have the information that is actually working.
Yeah, we track what happens to the young children and.
Oh, we ain't you too cool, man.
Shock treat.
Your problem is you too cool. You too cool.
But we got to post that though.
I said Carlos, right, because I didn't make it again to the Elevation Awards because we went 4 straight. Shock treatment.
Yeah, shock treatment one.
4 straight.
Yeah.
So that's not a 3-peat, that's a quad. Just like I told Principal.
So let me congratulate, man.
Y'all do elevation. We don't know elevation what.
I can win one flag football soon, because I can get help from my good MP sitting right over here.
Yeah, so Principal Ferguson, since we engaged with Uriah McPhee, they've been tops and glats in their district 3 straight years. So I tell her this year, it's not a 4-peat, it's a quad. And you win something 4 straight.
Have you all been able to connect that to what y'all have been doing?
Well, you see what happens as a result of it, right? And then you partner with them in their prize giving. And then the acting Principal Brown, they had sickle cell students and they need medical equipment. And I gave that. Yeah, the press came to that. And then recently, Principal Ferguson, when she came, she asked for digital learning. So they read their books on tablets now. The worksheets are on tablets. So if you're in grade 6, but you're at a grade 4 level, They can program it. Your worksheets are grade 4, but you're sitting in the grade 6 class, so people ain't making fun of you. If you're at grade 6 level, your worksheets are grade 6. If you're at grade 8 level, your worksheets are grade 8.
Got you.
And so all of that is in the same thing. That's the most recent investment I made for them.
So when you spoke about your priorities in the community, that speaks to where you send the resources as well.
Yes.
Got you.
And so
okay.
LW Young had a hot auditorium. Fred, Lisa, and myself with the Chinese embassy, we air conditioned that thing. Today
Fox say y'all in because he put in air conditioning. Fox say y'all copy him.
Who was that?
What's your
Nicholas Fox.
Yeah, he say y'all copy him. He put air conditioning. So y'all try to compete with him.
He hadn't put no air conditioning by that time. He wasn't on the scene then.
He say y'all need to copy him what he do. So
he was still an imagination of wanting to be a candidate at that point. Right? And then at C.I. Gibson, Kevin Johnson, I told him, anytime the Rattlers win basketball, Coach Johnson would come and you got to assist the young men. Because I was very impressed when I went to the assembly. It was like 2 years ago or a year ago. They walk into assembly, and I see Coach Johnson do this. And a young man had a medallion outside his shirt, and without him saying anything, he put it inside his shirt.
Yeah.
And so I said that degree of discipline and correction without needing to talk. And Rao says that is a valuable interaction with young men of that age. So if he needs some money to take them on a trip,
done.
And so we got them the computer for their geography lab. All of their children passed the geography BGCSEs, but this is going to make the teacher said they should do now better. I sat and talked with those young children, very, very intelligent, particularly a young 10th grader, Miss Lubin, from Freetown. I talked about it as an investment. So I'm not giving you a gift, I'm making an investment.
Yeah.
And you know why we make investment insurance? Because look like all of us can retire soon. And somebody got to pay our pension. And guess who that have to be?
Okay.
That have to be them.
Yeah.
So we better invest in them so they can be successful. So that when we collect an old age pension, it's based on their productivity, just like our productivity pays the generations before. And that young girl heard me say that. She didn't know what I was going to say. And when she made her response, she worked that right into her response, which shows a mental acuity that's amazing for a 10-year-old.
And that, she did it right on the spot there after you engaged with her.
Yeah, no. The press was there, and she was scared. The media was there, and she was scared. And she was able to grasp that and turn that right out.
It's powerful.
And that's what happened. So my efforts are towards children and seniors. So, they decide what they want to do. And I help fund that.
Let me show you why, and I want to add why I think the idea of marketing and talking these things is so important. We are, this may not be a word, but I think we have an inspirationless society.
Yes.
We lack in inspiration.
I like that.
But the fire low.
It's almost like a testimony. There's no testimonies.
We need that. One of the things we do in our church, we have testimony time in our church. We start, old school, there's testimony service. Of course, almost everybody stopped it. We started it in our young church about 2-3 years ago. And now people missing it because we didn't do it in 2 weeks. Because the ref could preach and put a good sermon together, but it's nothing like hearing that it's actually worked for Wayne on the chair and who sit in the pew.
Yeah.
Because we believe ref got his access to heaven that everybody else don't have. But when I hear that this actually worked for Johnny down there and this worked for Wayne here, it worked for Kenyatta here, it makes it more real.
Give me hope.
So I feel like when we don't share these kind of stories, we are robbing the wider community of very necessary inspiration. We need to be inspired.
And I've been persuaded. I tell my campaign folks, just as I don't decide what the school needs, Right. The administrator, so just as I don't lean on my own understanding with that, I'm prepared not to lean on my own understanding with this. And
Gotcha.
so, for instance, when you talk about testimony, they came into Freetown, what do you think about your lawyer? And they played something with this fellow who stands up and says, I don't see him. And you go down by the office and they doing a bar job and this, that, and that. When they pointed out to me, I said, that can't be this fella. He's a parishioner in my church. They used to lead him around by the hand because he couldn't see. I got him 2 cataract surgeries. On his birthday, bless him, he said, thank God, and Mr. Monroe, he could see. We sit down every day under the dilly tree in St. Margaret's parking
and he
lot
said he don't see you?
and talk for about an hour and a half. And then because he was on pension, if he have a little thing, I give him a little $20.
Wow.
So that was what pushed it over the edge for me to say, yes, I would agree.
You got to.
That we can do this.
I got a dear friend listening who said that, who was commenting on my word, inspired list. I'm just glad to know you're tuning in the Barbershop Talk, sir. I will not share that you have some other connections, but the fact that you listen to our show, he said, please use uninspired next time. Thank you so much that we are still yet inspired list. But let me go back. I would ask you something.
No, but fundamentally, this thing, and which is why, and again, you'll say because I'm emotionless. Why should I tell you?
I didn't say you're emotionless, man. I said you are.
They wouldn't be the only one who said that.
No.
I said
you're emotionless and you're too cool.
No, I didn't use that word. I said he's dispassionate.
No.
Okay.
He's emotionless, he's dispassionate, and he's reactionless.
But based on what I'm hearing, it sounds he's very effective. It sounds he's very, very effective and very impactful.
No, but what happens is this. Why should I tell you what you need? I'm supposed to be representing you. So as a lawyer, I represent people. And you know what we know fundamentally as lawyers? We're creatures of instructions. So you might tell us, I want this. We'll analyze it and say, okay, based on all of this, you're not going to be able to get it. Or here is how you can get it. And so that is how I approach it when I go to Uriah McPhee, which I've adopted more or less. It's what do you all need me to do? The same thing with C.I. Gibson, who, by the way, needs a boss, eh? And my challenge to Blue, Lincoln, the COI girl, and Patrice Hannah Carey is I can put at least $1,000. So if you all put $1,000, they'll have $5,000 because 5 people work running in Freetown. But I'll remind Lincoln Deal that he gave fancy dancers $20,000, and it was a nice picture with him with a $20,000 check. And I think a bus for for young people more is just as important as Junkanoo, so I'd expect him to give a $20,000 check to C.I. Gibson. Because surely he can outdo me in that as well. So I'm just inviting him, suggesting to him.
Send a text to your friend Lincoln Deal, please.
That to be taken seriously.
Well, I know Lincoln been by my shop, and he did back to school, and he drop off about $600 for kids to get cut in the community.
Yeah,
he did that. But Wayne, I want to give you 2 nuggets, and this is important. I want to see this happen in my community.
You give him nuggets?
Yeah, I can give him
Before
nuggets.
you give nuggets, because you won't forget them nuggets. I want to ask this question: do you have anything that you guys, obviously you're tracking some things based on what you said earlier. We saw that significant decrease in crime, and I think it's totally unfair what I'm hearing around that, because if crime had gone up, they would have put it around your neck. You caused that. If we had seen an increase in murder, I said crime.
what they would say.
Oh, that would have been around your neck. That we ain't caused this. I cry shame on he's supposed to be so smart. He's so bright. Look at crime, and crime is down significantly, more than I've seen it in any 24-month period that I've ever seen in my adult life. That we have gone from 120 something last year to 81. Yeah. That's significant, and we applaud the efforts that are being made. We applaud.
You got to applaud yourself. I'm quite sure you have youth involvement in your
now,
so you're a part of it.
But what I want to ask, and I'm glad you said that, I wanted to ask, in your tracking and your measuring and all of your statistics that y'all are doing, have you all been able to point to anything that you say, you know what, boy, this is really working? Is there anything that y'all can point to say from the Ministry of National Security, I know you're not the Commissioner of Police, you talked about the autonomy of the police force, but is there anything that you guys can say, boy, this can work? And I'm saying that because I hope it continues, whatever it is. That if you didn't talk about your next 5 years, but let's say the next 6 years, next 7 years, these things that are working, can we quantify it? Can we say that this is working?
Yeah, because what we're doing is when the Prime Minister appointed me, he gave me an instruction in writing, you have to be evidence-based.
Right.
So we're tracking hype, and you will determine whether it's a program that should continue to receive public resources.
But that would have done nothing for what we had now, for this reduction last year to this year.
Yeah.
Hype is children, right? Primary school.
So when people leave primary school at 8, and they're feeding into the upper system, And we had a 14 or 15-year-old murderer.
I think you think y'all didn't catch him yet? Y'all didn't catch them yet, man.
No.
No. And at the same time, you reintroduce rangers. A lot of people don't like shock treatment, right? Because they say, oh, look how you doing with these children. But then the parents tell Carlos and me that they put the children in front of the TV and say, if you don't sort yourself out, that's going to be you. Mm-hmm. So you have this stuff that you will track long term.
Right.
You have clear whole build that we're moving from constituency to constituency, and when we finish the clear and the whole stage and going into the build stage, we track the criminal metrics, gunshots fired, murders, armed robbery, before the period and after the period. I'm persuaded, as I say, that what will keep it going down there isn't actually the policing part of it. Mm-hmm. It's the prevention part of it.
I saw a picture. Sorry, cut you off. I saw this chart you guys showed during the clear hold bill thing. One of the, I think it would have been former commissioner presented, Fernando, where there was all these gunshots in these different areas.
Yeah.
Have you all redone that to see if there's been a reduction?
Yeah, that's what we do. We look at.
So you have done it already.
Yeah.
And it's less red.
Yeah.
Really?
And in the area, we track gunshots, robberies, murders in the area before clear hold build and after clear hold.
I think Angleston was the worst. Angleston was the worst area. I think based on the red, Angleston was bad.
So you track that.
Hold on. What about callers say? Message me, not callers. Say, this show is losing credibility.
Oh wow.
Say we was all over the F&M candidates. And then the candidates, and we letting Mr. Monroe box at us.
Wow. I mean, that's just,
somebody listening to a religious show.
I try to figure why you read that. Why you what they do? What you know, sometimes I
can tell you why.
I think sometimes people want us to pick up our guests and body slam them.
Yeah.
And just put blows on them. I don't know what they want us to do. We're asking the questions that they're asking.
We ask the tough questions.
And the man answering the questions. I don't know what you want us to do.
They want you to get me emotional.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, that
that's what it is.
I ain't gonna tell you.
That's what it is.
I gonna tell you.
Our other guests are reactionary, emotional.
Yeah.
When Mr. Monroe is cool, calm, and collective.
So based on what y'all saying now, he done went us over the east side. Now we can't even. Next show we can be welcome to Barbershop Talk. So glad to have you tune in. We want you.
No, everyone is different.
Yeah, everyone does.
One of our guests brings something more than Tito. Tito run hot, so the guests run hot.
Yeah.
Then you run hot. Then everybody run hot. So, but Mr. Monroe is nice, cool, calm, and collective.
Week before last, I was asking a simple question. The man refused to answer the question.
He was rude before last, Mr. Monroe. He was rude.
No, it was not. I asked, what are you prepared to do for Freetown other than clearing that?
Ask him what you asked us. Yes, let's see how I go.
He don't even know what he asked.
What are you prepared to do for Freetown?
He didn't ask the guest.
I told Pastor them when you walk in, I say this. I say I felt like Mr. Monroe bamboozled me, run amok. He wants me to vote for him for the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. I see Wayne from the last haircut was 5 years ago.
Please find yourself back in this man barber jail.
He never make no appointment. I accommodate him when he come with the 19 police and the 2 car. I said to throw him in the chair, so he can't blame that on no appointment. Just I used to get him in there.
That's a fact.
How do you convince me to vote PLP again? You promised to do some things for me.
Oh, so you testifying that you voted last time?
Huh?
You testifying that you voted last time?
I understand what you just said this now.
You just said it. Again. The word again implies...
Mr. Monroe.
Tito,
I got 6 votes.
I didn't stop. The show's yours. Go ahead.
I got 6 votes in my house. 2 businesses in Camp Road. Mr. Monroe, why should I vote for you in the next general election?
I would say you vote based on record.
Record.
Yeah. So you have to determine now, as I say.
Not here,
I have...
Not the PLP Wayne's Monroe record or the PLP
both.
record? Okay, go ahead.
I have a commitment to Freetown. As I say, it's been a quarter of a century. You can look back and you will see my involvement in the community. And no, I don't take photos of it. No, I don't take videos of it. You can see the persons in Oak Hill wanted City Lodge. Remember City Lodge? They wanted that demolished. So
it's down.
I wrote for that and the old City Market to be demolished.
So that ain't blue?
Hold on.
I was given a text to say, Denczil, you're dominating the show, stop asking questions. So I ain't want to say nothing else. Please.
I was told I was dominating.
I ain't saying nothing else.
Please, smart rate.
Gentlemen, please.
Mr. Monroe, we can need you to clarify that statement you just made, because we got information.
Please record.
We got information that the demolishment of City Market on Village Road and Soldier Road and Wolf Road and all them road was orchestrated by the one Mr. Blue Andrew Johnson.
All I know is that once we were campaigning, City Lodge was an issue because it used to catch on fire. My office used to be right down the road. My law firm, my partnership dissolved, has almost always been in Freetown from 2009 as well, So City Lodge would catch on fire. There was a murder, around it. There was a rape. You had issues with the old City Market with vector control issues. When I was writing to get them demolished, before we won the election, I continued to write to get them demolished after we were elected. I harassed Alfred Sayers about it after we were elected. When he was Minister of Works, City Lodge came down. And I continued to harass them. Now, whether the government demolished it or whether they just served the demolition notice, I don't get into those details, just like I didn't get into the details when City Lodge was demolished. And I didn't go and take any pictures or video with it. I have other things to do when these things are happening. I don't require to be told when something is happening to be there. I just think people just want it done. And so you just go ahead and get it done. And that's how
you owe Tito an apology. If this is what his man said.
No, and that is what you have to do. And so I said, for instance, that I want to up the state of
So let me be clear. You are saying that the demolition of... I need you to be... See, Mr. Monroe, I need you... You are saying that the demolition of the City Market property building on Village Road, that was done because it was orchestrated by the Minister of National...
No, I'm saying I wrote for both places to be demolished. And I pressed for both places to be demolished, and both places have been demolished.
You texted somebody now?
I texted somebody.
When City Lodge was demolished, there was no F&M candidate, no independent candidate. I know who I communicated with, and I saw the building come down. And then when the debris...
Sounds like your pen is very powerful. You've been writing...
No. And I tell you I harass Alfred.
And your pen is powerful. How you harass him? Cool, calm like this, or you went in there used? Because I don't see this as harassment.
Yeah, but he don't break stride.
No.
He said it just like this.
There might be a time when you come to me as Minister of Works and say, oh, I have a constituent who is trying to be recruited on the police force or defense force or corrections. I say, wow, yeah, City Lodge still up here.
Okay, I can need you to do one more thing then, Minister Monroe.
You know, that's something else why you look at when you say, why should you re-elect me?
Mm-hmm.
My job is to get things done. I already tell you my focus is on the children, the seniors, and then the other stuff that has to be done, you deal with it. And you have to have some standing in the party and the government to be able to get things done,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And you have to be able to be persuasive to get things done. And your party has to be in government.
True enough.
Key.
Because you only could do with the 150, whatever you could do with it.
And then the next thing that I say is when you look at the record of the PLP, it is quite obvious. As in the next 7 days, how much VAT you can pay on unprepared food? None. Zero. All of it. On all unprepared foods, 0 VAT.
All dry goods. All canned goods.
And it's a long list. It's like 1,400 items or more. So you look at that. And then, you look at, we put in programs, we work together with the public. We think we have crime going in the right direction, which is down.
Your point, you said that, right? Let me ask you this before you people will say that is an election ploy or election strategy to waive the VAT of all grocery items. And to I guess that could be a good bump to persuade persons to vote for the PLP in the next general election. Now, should the PLP win, is it going to be, and a few months later, now VAT is now implemented on items?
No. And if you say it's an election ploy, you know why I'd say you could say yes, it is. Because when the PLP was elected, we know that we're better than the F&M, so we have to build a record to be re-elected.
So you're saying the PLP is simply the best?
No, Fred Denczil always said that. And so we look at the progression. We went from 12 to 10. The F&M said that would destroy the economy. It did not. And then we went from 10 to 5. Graduate. That's, if it had gone from 12 to 0, 3 months before the election, you could say that's shenanigans. It went from 12 to 10 on everything, 10 to 5 on unprepared food, and then 5 to 0 on unprepared food. A graduated,
steady decline.
Steady decline. If it had gone from 12 to 0, then the claim that it's an election ploy would be sustainable.
So it's a progress.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more progress.
Well, I know this thing is not we talked about this, but I wasn't here when we talked about Denczil, right? But like I say, Mr. Monroe's pen is very powerful. Mm-hmm. So he was able to...
Excuse me? Are you in Freetown? Excuse me. Are you in Freetown?
Hold on.
You're going to ask my MP to do something for you?
No, not for me. Not for me. I don't. I am concerned. See, I look past me.
Oh, look here.
I look past me.
Okay.
I for the people.
Okay, Rob.
No matter which constituency. This constituency I'm speaking about is not even. I am Mardon. I am the Lisa.
Yeah.
And so, but there is an issue. I feel for the people. I don't know if that's in the Marathon constituency, but right there on Soldier Road, that's Strawn's auto site situation.
Yeah, that's
that something that need to be dealt with. Your pen is powerful.
You want to hear something very dispassionate? There is a solution coming for that may end up being temporary, because Minister Bell is saying you're trying to make provision for those somewhere at Gladstone Road, right? Because it's seen to be remote. When Strawn's went there, it was remote. And the neighborhood built up around it.
It's no longer remote.
And so you will move now that issue into, and the one on Joe Farrington Road, let's say you move them into, call it out into the bush, and you can do it in a manner that doesn't endanger the water table. Right. In another, 20, 30, 40 years, the same problem might exist, eh?
It's a problem now, though.
Mind you, I don't have a problem with it being there. I remember one time they had cleaned it up, and they had, they
make it look good.
They hide the eyesore situation, but all of a sudden that if you can just drive there and don't have to see that, I think they could do a proper disposal of dealing with those cars. Make sure drain all the gas in those cars, because it could be a fire hazard.
No, it could
be. It is a residential and commercial area.
Yeah, so as I say, Minister Bell particularly said that they were looking at a solution that would shift it out of what is now a population center.
Right.
But again, that isn't in my ministry, but that is something I know about because I hear about it around the table.
You need to let Mr. Bell your hand, because your pen is powerful.
So we back on Freetown, and I want to say this to Mr. Monroe. You saw y'all canvass the area, and it's election time. Why can't we do the same out of the election and let us know what's going on in the community so we could know? Send your people. They're sitting there. I don't know what they do in the office all day. If you could put a team together at least once a month, they go through and say, hey, this is what we got going in the community, so people could be a part of what is going on, because a lot of us are blind. The second thing is, can we celebrate great achievements like the Elevation Award? And I always wanted to say, can we put a big posters or billboards around Freetown to show the pride of Freetown? You had C.I. Gibson win the big championship. Why we can't see them kids on a big poster board in the Freetown area? Y'all just won the award
the list of things C.I. Gibson did
4 times straight. Why we can't see that up? So it'll be a great pride to be a part of Freetown because this is what we got going in the community.
And that also encourages GHS and all the other schools to now,
those who pass
because they want to be celebrated.
Exams. Why we can't have that poster with the kids who had 5 A's, 6 A's, so we can see the greatness of Freetown. Like, we need more stuff like that. See, I'm passionate about community because that's what I really want to see change. And I think we don't do more of it, and we need to do more of it. So I say, I know we ain't calm and cool or whatever, but I don't know if you can put me a part of your board to make sure these things get done. But this thing, that's just to be about,
That campaign was very short and brief.
No, but what you have is this, right? The mechanisms of a party system is this. Your captains in your polling divisions are supposed to keep them informed and you informed. So, for instance, people would say, some are better than the others.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody dies, I know right away. Even if I'm away, they'll go give condolences on my behalf, that kind of thing, if I'm away on official business. So that can happen. I do go around otherwise than election. I told the folks on Village Road, honestly, that's the only place I didn't go around after the election, Montague Heights and the environs off Village Road. On any initiative, you would have to consider it and walk it through. Some people put me in a group where all they talk about is how the billboard shouldn't be on Montague and how they spring it up everywhere. Now, mind you, you go along Camp Road and around St. James, not so much on St. James Road, but on the main thoroughfares, you already see them, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason other than nobody has asked for it.
Yeah, so I asked it, yeah. So instead of y'all tearing them down, tell them leave them like there. We can put some things on there, but make sense. Other than advertising Soca Fest and Reggae Fest, let's put some things on there that could be more impactful.
But that is what I said to C.I. Gibson, Uriah McPhee always gets stuff. You know why? Because they will come, they will sit down, and they will ask me. And once we have a discussion and they justify it, then we commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
But with matters that affect the community as a whole, you have to exercise some care that you get a broad agreement on it. Because the same people say, you see them put up that thing and I can't now see with it. And mind you, they never could see anyway. Right?
Blocking the view.
Yeah. And they're actually blocking your view or what?
I just get a great idea. How much polling divisions inside Freetown?
There are now 11.
So this is something we do in church. We have ministers. Most ministers in charge of a ministry. Is there any way you could set up a system where you can represent a polling division? Because so for some people who might be in the Shirley area, right? I may be, just say for example, I'm polling Shirley, right? Because I live in Shirley. How do we
that's the white people area for y'all who didn't know back in the day.
So how do we, like a guy in number 2, polling division number 2?
They run all the white people.
How can we have someone to represent polling division number 2? Because me and Monroe set up theirs. Those guys over PI, they have no one to speak for them. So them and who in that polling division, they have a captain or somewhere where I could come to me. Okay, so polling division number 2, we're seeing that we having these challenges. How can we get this be done? How can we get this to be resolved? Like something like that. Like, I don't think people think of systems like this that really can help the community.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You have, and
can you identify those persons?
When you put it like that, how we do it now is that you have poll captains, but that's purely political, eh? And I suppose, and
y'all do?
Yeah, but
I didn't know that. You don't know the boss, huh?
Yeah, but
You got to be in.
But this is.
I didn't you know.
No, but this is the point that both of you are making now. So the poll captains are a strictly political thing, right? But you're talking about when I now represent everyone and when I'm not running.
That's good.
Yeah. So now, how do you translate that may not limit it to the political operative.
Sure.
And that is a challenge I'd have to look at. You may break it down to you just find anyone the best person. Because not everyone who is passionate about community is politically inclined.
Correct. Correct.
You see?
Correct.
And sometimes the best person to have would be somebody who is not politically inclined. But that's not how the system is rated at the moment.
Right.
But I think it might be a very simple way to transition to that.
All right, so I have a senior. They didn't give permission to call their name, but a senior public servant, retired now, and that's a very potent question. So, why are ministries underfunded? We're diminishing income from taxes. What are we going to do with the fact that health and education are underfunded? We're diminishing our tax base. How are we going to fix that?
I'm not sure we're diminishing our tax base. Remember now, when VAT went from 12 to 10%, the actual revenue capture went up. When we do away with some of the revenue leakage, the actual revenue leakage, the actually revenue capture will go up. In every country, health and education are always considered to be underfunded. I don't know of any country where they aren't considered underfunded. Even the utopian ones where they say you can get all of this stuff. Because whenever you do that, people always want more.
You mean you speaking in regards to getting free health care, like?
Yeah, even like, and they say, oh, you go to Norway and they have this, that, the next. You have complaints in Norway.
Yeah, but we've been hearing some things about PMH and things about the nurses that it almost it seems and social media is it's a blessing but it's a curse as well, because you're hearing things. Everybody now is a journalist. Everybody has a platform, and so we're hearing things more and more and more. And boy, based on what we're hearing, that y'all just failing at health. That's the narrative out there. The nurses ain't happy. The PMH falling apart. And then we got this grandiose idea to build this new hospital where we understaff at PMH. And then the hospital we building ain't for everybody. It's just going to take this load off. But then, health professionals saying they even ain't taking the biggest load. So PMH can still be overburdened. And what are we doing to fix what's happening? I know this in your ministry. We hoping to get Minister of Health on real soon.
No, I haven't got. Well, all I do is I look around and I look at Armstrong Clinic, and people are supposed to be encouraged to use clinics instead of going to the hospital for any and everything. So the first thing you look at is how we manage the clinic infrastructure, and Dr. Darwell and Ministry of Health has done more work in clinics throughout this country than ever before. I think the new accident and emergency now is the work is completed. Princess Margaret is an old structure, just like the prison is an old structure. There's a limit to what you can do. I think it's supposed to be children, pediatric, maternity, female issues in the specialty hospital. I think women make up more than 50% of the population. If you add children to that, because the children is boys and girls, I don't understand how that's not the bulk of the work at PMH, but I just may not know healthcare. I know what I do know is percentages. If you take half of the adult population and all of the young population and transfer them somewhere.
So is that all things women then coming out? Is it all things female?
That's the impression I get.
That ain't kind of what I heard communicated. But okay, no problem. Yeah. If it is, then I got it. If it's all things female.
And then they talk about staff.
So that means we see females in PMH. Once this thing is done, so right.
Now don't hold me to that.
Right before you come here from the next election, you tell me now we ain't have no females in PMH. Not like that.
That's the impression
that you got. Okay, yeah. I got something different. Yeah. But okay.
And when you transfer those patients, the people who were treating them are going to remain where? Pediatrics is a specialty. Even if you limit it to the maternity, it's a specialty. The plans I saw dealt with other things than maternity and pediatrics.
Will it also be emergency as well?
Yes.
Okay.
For everybody, or just for
an emergency room is an emergency room.
But I mean, because I would again, we can have the minutes on. We can find it out.
Yeah.
This is how perfection says, clinics are overstaffed and PMH understaffed. Wow. Any suggestions to fix this? This is that same senior. Can I ask? I wish you could tell me if I can say your name. I'll say your name if you tell me I can say your name, but you don't tell me so.
I'll put it this way. I've been to Ansdown Clinic. I don't understand why someone would say that that's overstaffed.
Okay.
I've actually been to Ansdown Clinic.
As a patient, or you mean to visit it?
As a visit.
Okay,
I've
right.
been as a patient to get a immunization against yellow fever to Flamingo Gardens Clinic. And I don't understand why people would say that's overstaffed either. I don't think I've been to the nearest clinic to me, which is Elizabeth Estates. But one of the priests that was at St. Margaret's at the time, Father Hamilton, worked at Elizabeth Estates. And from the stories he told, I didn't get the impression that it was overstaffed.
Somebody we can get in trouble because I wasn't reading no online comments, but somebody just on that same conversation says, "Good evening, sir. Those clinics don't want people coming in there after hours. They basically chase you to the hospital. Don't want to deal with patients after 5 p.m., even though they're supposed to serve the public until 8 or 9 p.m. I experienced this personally."
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's somebody said this now.
I mean 8 or 9.
8
Yeah.
or 9
8 p.m. or 9 p.m. something like that.
Clinic's supposed
Yeah.
to be open until that time.
Carlo had a question. That's our fourth co-host who couldn't be here tonight. He says, Mr. Murner, with the depth of knowledge and experience you've gained, if you are re-elected, do you feel you could bring added value by serving in a different ministry?
You can always, one of the problems with moving is you have to relearn, you have to learn a ministry.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what happens, that's what happens. National security is particularly important, I would think. I think the Prime Minister is pleased with the job I'm doing. If I had a choice, I would go back where I am because, for instance, I have major things I would like to see finished. I would like to see the new virtual court and correctional facility to conclusion. I would like to see the build-out of the Defense Force bases and the upgrade of their fleet concluded, or I'd say advanced. And when we return, we have to basically replace just about every police station in the Family Island. Just about everyone. And we have to do some more work with a safe city concept for New Providence.
Yes.
But if I asked if I could bring this to some other ministry, of course, because you would apply legal method. I know now a little bit more about the public service process.
Mm-hmm.
I knew about it before. You get the inside of it. I tell people I'm from the private sector. I don't know about the public service. My first PS say they can listen to that, but if you always suing the government, then you have to know about how the system works to sue the government, which is true.
If we made you the minister, we celebrate Pia. Pia's doing a wonderful job, Pia Glover. If you were made minister of public service, what would you do to fix all these blockages that we have in man? Things getting blocked up, moving so slow.
The first thing I would have to do, I would have to sit down and ask them, why do y'all do it like this? You know what I told them when I came in and my PSs and staff always laugh? I said, in the private sector, we ride you straight into the grave. We don't mind if your last day of work is the day before you die.
Right.
Because there are a lot of practical reasons for that to be so.
Right.
A lot of savings that you have in terms
Why some people
of
mad at
this.
that statement you just made us now. People don't like
Why?
that. So no, I'm telling you, I agree with you. Some people don't like that.
If you desire, not that I can make you, so not that I'm making a rule, but in the public service, for instance, you have to go at this age, regardless of what your view is. And so I'll give an example. Magistrate Ian Bethel's widow is a speech pathologist. I'm not sure if she's still alive. Once she retired, then she could get it's either 3 or 6 contracts. And then she can't be engaged anymore. And she is one of the only speech pathologists. And so it's not that it's a gang of them. It's just that the rules say this. And so the question is, why is that rule there if it is counterproductive?
Sure.
We force nurses to retire who still want to work, and we have a shortage of nurses. I think we're bringing them back now. We do the same thing with teachers, and then they become supply teachers, and we have a shortage of teachers. So that may be a perfectly good reason why they do it.
You don't figure that one out yet.
I just can't figure it out with all else that I had to do in my ministry. I told each of my PSs, and I had PSs with good knowledge of public service HR. So I didn't have to come to grips with it, and I'll leave that to them. But that would be the first thing I would have to do. Now, when I came into the Ministry of National Security from my background, I knew a lot about it already. So I didn't have to ask why should the Commissioner of Police be in charge of the police force instead of the minister.
Right. Right. You were in there.
I didn't have to ask some things because I knew them.
Gotcha. Carlos, last question. Looking back at your time in office, what is one decision you would handle differently today? And what did you learn from that experience? Something that you would have, boy, I probably didn't do that one right.
I think I would have been more decisive in how I approached a matter that went south. In that matter, I think and I'd have to do that the same because I did what I did because of the rules, and you couldn't do it any differently.
Okay.
But I think I would have been less tolerant of all of this. You have to do procurements like this because I didn't get to grips with all of the exceptions soon enough. And so the answer I give is, for instance, I'm in an NIB building. The AC was out for 6 months.
Wow.
For want of a $50,000 part that we could have bought. A problem that would have taken me 1 week to fix in the private sector took 6 months. And we still ain't on the 3rd floor on my half of the building.
What?
Yeah, because you had a roof leak. Took them forever to fix that. It would have been fixed in short order. But you have to issue this, you have to do that, then you have to do the third and the third.
Insanity.
And then little cleaning needs to happen, little remediation, and you're still not in it. So my approach to things, I would have had less patience with my landlord, I think, if I had it to do all over again.
Gotcha. The police, we closing. The police trigger happy. That's the talk now. There's no way we could. They asked us to ask you that from we started the show. We couldn't do that because then the show would have been over. The police seem to be trigger happy.
Why?
Because they shoot the dog and the police, but same people shoot the dog. Then we had those incidents yesterday, not this weekend that just passed, and that pop up here a couple of times on the feed. What are you doing about these police?
Are they the same?
You can help us. They say in the police they just get them guns out and they ain't using.
It's said that the shooting at the plantation is a matter that there was no injury to the officer, and if a criminal investigation was initiated, questions about its justification would arise. I received a report about the officer on Village Road who had to be taken to the hospital.
Got you.
For an injury said to be from a cutlass. Now, I don't know what you are supposed to do if somebody attacks you with a cutlass. I'm not saying that that's what happened.
Right.
But that is the account that is given. The dog?
Monroe, if that was me and I was all of a sudden I had a gun, I was going to shoot that dog too.
I know, but I put it this way. I tell people.
You're a dog lover?
Yeah, I have
and I was a dog lover.
I saw a video of you in your yard with your fruit trees. And I saw some dogs around you.
I had one dog, Bruce, my Great Dane. He died, right? And my wife had a little.
How big that dog is?
I think I saw it on the video. You was doing a lot of videos during COVID.
COVID,
yeah.
And then I have 3 Royal Bahamian pot cakes because That's the breed. They're not pot cakes. They're Royal Bahamian pot cakes.
The devil is a Royal Bahamian pot cake.
It has a breed standard, so every dog that's a mutt is not a Royal Bahamian pot cake. They have a breed standard. So two of my Royal Bahamian pot cakes.
Man, are you making this up, man? Stop this, man.
I'm serious.
Stop it, man. You're Royal Bahamian. Where have you Royal Bahamian?
There's actually, if you go online, you pull up pot cake.
Google it. So
I can do that.
They jump out of my yard. I try my best to keep them in. I have a wall. I have like a 5-6 foot wall. But if they were to be aggressive towards somebody, but the officer gave an account that a lot of people don't want to accept, and it is what it is. He did what he did. Him and the commissioner of corrections, the chaplain went and visited with the dog owner, Duke Errol Strawn. I think he's 96 and his wife is 100. And they had a chat about the killing of Trump. That's the dog's name. And there was an agreement.
Oh, that was symbolic.
No, that's the dog's name. Why are y'all laughing? That's the dog's name.
Let's move on to the next topic.
That's the dog's name.
Lord, they shoot Trump. Don't say that no more at the station.
No. So they had a talk. They sorted it out.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Strawn invited them back for Sunday dinner, which she is going to cook. And I haven't asked the commissioner since then, but I'm sure they went back. They had and Duke Errol Strawn understood and reminded Commissioner Clare that he taught him. And Commissioner Clare acknowledged it. So they sat down, they had a conversation, and they resolved it.
Okay. The case with the next one on social media now, the case with the young lady.
Now, people sent me 3 videos with young ladies.
The one with the lady that was
One was with a
almost undressed, almost.
No, there were 2 of those. One was outside with a car.
Yeah.
One was inside a house. I haven't seen what purports to be the full video.
Okay.
From start to finish, so I reserve judgment until I see the whole thing.
I can't. Actually, no. I'm not going to predict how you answer. The U.S. made that statement they made. Did that frazzle Wayne Monroe in any way?
No, because it's a reasonable request. It's the same request that we made when Alray Ramsey and the other chap were killed in Italy. You asked, you try to ensure that your citizens receive justice.
Right. What happened with that in Italy, since you mentioned that?
It's still, as far as we're concerned, not satisfactorily closed. Let's put it like that. But the U.S. has to protect the interests of their citizen. And
right.
If they call, we keep them updated on what is happening. And I would suspect that would continue in this matter.
Okay.
They asked for swift justice. I was of the view when we did the case, the delay reduction task force under Chief Justice Dame Joan Sawyer, and recently that how you speed up justice. If I have a slam dunk case, and what is a slam dunk case? One where everything is caught on video.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you fast track those to trial?
Sure.
Now, if there is a lot of other extrinsic material that isn't caught on video, because that's how I got people when I was acting in the Supreme Court, why they pleaded guilty. I tell them, look, man, we have your ankle monitor, have you here, we have you on video here. Exactly what are you going to tell the jury to cause them to say that this wasn't you?
Right.
And if you don't have nothing sensible to say, why don't you save yourself 1/3 of the time by pleading guilty?
Makes sense.
We could watch the video.
Makes sense. The fella on the yard coming with all them guns, and he get a fine. Tito cousin in Foxhill.
The fella coming with all the guns.
The fella that was Bimini somewhere that they found what all those firearms on that yacht.
Who had the license for them?
License, right? That's the key. Licensed firearms.
Oh, I didn't even know they were licensed. Oh, they were licensed.
Mostly they are licensed where the people come from.
Got you. Got you. So that played a part, I guess, obviously. Does it matter that, I mean, because if you got a licensed gun in Singapore, you can still get locked up, right?
And
Dubai or one of the places.
and like and I don't know what it is here, but in those countries they have multiple weapons license for multiple weapons.
But is that okay here? Does our law make room for that?
Yeah,
Although they're licensed over there, do we make room
no,
for?
they can have them on the vessel. They have to declare them to customs, and they can't take them off the boat.
No, they can't.
All right. Were they declared? Was every?
I don't know the
okay.
operational details of that.
Okay, because the narrative on that wasn't too cool at all. The Joe Public narrative, and of course, we don't really wait.
Maybe
for the
that's
details.
why they were fined, because they weren't declared. Or
If it were an offense, it would have to be because they did not declare them to customs.
Got you.
And or if they're found with them on the land. I think they were found on the boat. So as simple as making an honest customs declaration would have resulted in no offense.
Got you. We getting ready to go. Last one, Tito. Last one for your MP. We ready to go. You had more.
No. I got some stuff to talk to them off, yeah. That's why you look at me like that. I know what y'all make me marginal. I tell y'all, I have the Kobe Bryant effect. It's called pivoting.
So you didn't go on now.
You might have walked the floor today.
2 weeks ago, you walk over to Michael Pindad. You was having them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Today you
still with Ben Dad or you walk the floor?
That show over.
You don't walk the floor.
I walk the floor again. I can't tell y'all what happen next week.
Why the Bible say a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways?
Brother Monroe, you just get sex.
I never tell you between.
You just get sex.
You just get sex.
I never say between, I say I walk the floor, so I walk back on the next side.
I think, man, when people tell you they have 6 votes in there, I say, ask them how much you got, man.
Right. Anything else, Sean?
No. Mr. Monroe, it was a pleasure having you today, sir. It was a pleasure having you today.
Yeah, I ain't do this in a long time.
I couldn't get you here, but I for Mardo, and I understand why.
But, I will only say to Tito now, when you don't see me, you ain't know whether I gone down to the other place. Because I thought you had moved. Until your guy down there say, no, there's the other place up there. But he ain't there because it's his birthday.
Right.
I'll tell you this joke, right? My son is a sub-lieutenant on the Royal Bahamas Defense Force in their squadron department. So his birthday was the 21st of this month. He was on patrol on the 21st of this month, out to sea, right? Well, down in Ragged Island because they couldn't go for the weather. He puts on his status this thing 1 year ago, which is a view out the front of this boat, which means he was on patrol on his birthday again.
Wow.
So, wow. I don't feel sorry for him. He could have been a lawyer.
That's your problem.
No, he wanted to be a soldier, so he lived a soldier life.
Go for it.
That's the way it goes.
One word. Pinland. How you define him?
Visionary.
Kendall Isaacs.
Don't know him well enough.
Brian McCartney.
Don't say it.
No, that's my boy.
Yeah. That's you giving? Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
you see that.
That's my boy.
Hubert Minnis.
It would have been competent, except you have to put something in front of it. And I was taught you don't say anything bad about people, or you say nothing at all. So competent is a part of it.
I think we need to add this show for Mr. Monroe.
Couple more. Lincoln Bin.
You're not supposed to say bad things about people.
My good friend, Lincoln B.
I can keep on good.
I think that's still. I would say he's delusional, but I don't think he's delusional. I think he has his right mind. I'd say manipulative.
Perry Christie.
An orator.
Can't disagree with that. Brave Davis.
Visionary.
Oh, you give.
I need me a brave leader.
That's it. I ain't go no further than that. Wayne Monroe.
My pleasure to be here.
No. Wayne Monroe.
Me?
Yeah. Wayne Monroe.
You can never assess yourself.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer. My pastor says like this: a man who wraps himself makes for a very small package.
Well, he was a real politician.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There you have it.
thank you for tuning in tonight. We had a very, very lively. We thought it was lively and provocative, and it was. Somebody said passionate.
And I can try to do better.
Someone said,
No,
no,
man.
man. See, Kevin Moss, you got to understand the Kobe Bryant effect. It's called pivoting.
No. I think you explained quite well why you are who you are, and I love what I hear.
You don't change that.
My father-in-law is in here because his retirement is April 19th. I hope you got your invitation already for Bishop Robert McPhee, Cooper Stairs. He retires.
Church of God.
Yeah.
I got to get them some fill.
Yeah. Hold on now. No, they April 9th. No, Cooper Stairs.
Yeah, the Church of God, they're doing the parking lot. Didn't know that?
Oh, across the road.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah. But you got to be to the service though.
Yeah.
Yeah, his retirement.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Good. I got to make sure because if I let you leave here, he can call me in a little while. Tell me.
I promised him, I went to a funeral, and I promised him I was coming back. So if he leaving, I got to go to
You got to be there.
to make sure I'm a man of my word.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good one, man. See you again next week. Next week, I ain't said nothing else, but we know we have confirmed one of Tito's and Kenyatta's their friends. We have Mr. Rick Fox going to be here in about 2 weeks. He's confirmed to be here. It's going to be a lively, provocative show. 2 weeks, so stay locked in.
Swiping, no swiping, Fox.
We go on, guys. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Somebody